activist and an organizer locally in Cleveland. I actually grew up in Cleveland. I moved away to Washington, D.C. to go to school, and I returned to the area about 2 years ago. I was shocked when I returned to the area. When suburban D.C., I was living in a predominantly white area. I didn't have any problem from the local police. But when I returned back to Cleveland, I couldn't get off of my block without being stopped by the police.
Right.
As soon as I pulled out on 105, the lights would be flashing in my rearview mirror. I pulled over, they searched my car, they searched my person without any reason. They told me, oh, you didn't stop at the stoplight, you didn't come to a full stop. You ran a red light, when of course I know I didn't run a red light. Recently, back in November, not too long after the death of Tamir Rice, the murder of Tamir Rice, we were told by the Justice Department that they waited to release their review of Cleveland's police department until we calmed down. They wanted to make sure that calm had come back over Cleveland before they released the report, because they didn't want to agitate us anymore. They wanted us to calm down, and they didn't want us to be outraged when the report came out. When the report finally came out, the Cleveland Police Department was shown to have demonstrated a pattern of excessive use of force. In fact, over 600 instances of excessive force were accounted for. What we know that they know, but what they didn't include in the report was racial bias. We know that the majority of those people who were abused, those 600 cases of people that were abused, were people that looked just like us. Black people in these poor communities on the east side of Cleveland, not the people who are living in Ohio City, the people that are living in Glenville, people who are living in South Collinwood, the people that are living on the wrong side of the tracks in a place like Slavic Village. Those are the people that were being abused. What we do know, based upon the DOJ report, is that the city of Cleveland's police department views these black communities as occupied territory. And we see that in their police practices. We see that in the way that they police us as though we're in a correctional institution. We see that every day when you go past Tower City and you see them stop and frisk young men who are waiting at the bus stop or waiting in front of Tower City.
That's right.
You see that in the way that we are constantly abused. You can't find a young man in the city of Cleveland who doesn't have a story about how he has been abused by the Cleveland Police Department.
That's right.
That's something that the DOJ hasn't reported on, though it's something that we know that they know. But it's something that has to change. And it's not going to change unless we stand up. If we continue to let it slide, if we continue to elect these officials who don't see a pattern, who don't see systematic failures, who feel like they need to promote the people who have been who were supposed to be holding these people accountable over and over again. If we don't stand up against them, this kind of thing is just going to continue and continue. And if this happened to Tamir Rice, a 12-year-old boy, then you can only imagine the way they see the rest of us. Mm-hmm. If they see a 12-year-old boy as a menace, you can only imagine how they see the rest of us. The untold story is that the abuses that the majority of the black men in the city of Cleveland have encountered It hasn't been told. And it will go untold. But we know the story, and we have to do something about it.